Welcome back everyone to another episode of Victini News. I am your host, Cuban. We are now in week 4 and the season is heating up. We've had sweeps, struggles, and some absolute monsters rising to the occasion. This week, we're talking dominance, redemption, and trades that could flip the league upside down. So let's dive in. Our headline this week: once overlooked, now unstoppable. The Dunsparce strikes fear across the league. Legendary Landorus the Dunsparce was once a Pokemon everybody was memeing about, but now it's become the nightmare of Victini. In their match, the Dunsparce walled the entire team and calmly tore through every single Pokemon, finishing in a clean 6-0. That's not just a win, that's a statement. Right now, if you're facing Legendary Landorus, you don't just prep for the whole team, you prep for the Dunsparce. And good luck with that. Now let's break down the rest of the week 3 results. In the match between New York Low-Kicks and the Boom Burst Backgammon, Volcanion came out swinging, and when Terragrass stayed on the field and racked up 3 big KOs before being finally forced out. But that's when Iron Moth entered. Switching in directly against the Grass Volcanion, it grabbed a Fiery Dance boost, and from that moment, every single answer Alicalcos tried to bring in was shut down. Iron Moth finished the job, cleaning up the rest of the team and sealing the victory for the New York Low-Kicks. Nap Squad secured a 5-0 win thanks to the deadly pairing of Raikou and Qian Pao. Speed, power, and perfect synergy. The two together simply overwhelmed their opponents. The Fighting Lando T's relied on their Spectria, which nearly got stalled out by Mega Lopunny from the Tennessee Titans. But once Lopunny fell, the Ghost Horse ran wild, sweeping the rest of the team with 5 kills, sealing a 4-0 victory. Oslo Okadogis faced the Ottawa Ordinaries, and Viking had a secret weapon that only works against lack of interest with his mono normal type team, which is Sarah Aura with Plasma Fist. For those who don't know, Plasma Fist turns normal type attacks into electric type attacks, and thanks to its ability, Volt Absorb, it won't get damaged by them. This actually happened in the match when lack of interest Beware tried to double edge, and the Plasma Fist turned the double edge into electric, and it just got healed instead of taking damage. And thanks to that strategy, the Oslo Okadogis managed to secure the 3-0 victory. Dunsparce United battled Lively Town Licky Licky, and here the normal Diancie with Terra shone bright. Meteor Beam picked up key KOs against the Mega Diancie on the other side, and with some smart switching, Dunsparce United shut the door on every comeback attempt, taking the win with a solid 4-0. And finally, ABBs was the New York Hydreigons. This was a nail-biter. The Scarf Goldengo took out Mega Adactyl early, but Excadrill nearly turned it all around with a potential sweep. It took the combined resilience of Alola Mola and Gliscor to hold the line and claw out a hard-fought 2-0 victory for the Hydreigon's. And of course, our match of the week was Arson vs Pandemonium, a tactical masterclass. The match started with Dragapult Will-O-Wisping the Hitmontop. If that Will-O-Wisp would have missed, I don't know if Dragapult would have survived, but that was one crucial way to at least cripple one of Pandemonium's physical attackers. Pandemonium was thinking, okay, you crippled my Hitmontop, but here I have another strategy. A Bomb Snow with a Roller Whale. But Arsene was prepared. Cloud9 Licky Licky. I don't think a lot of people have really seen this one. This is the first time I've seen it actually do something. Camps in and blocks any attempt to set up the Aurora Veil, using Wish and Toxic to keep itself alive and poison the opponent's team. But the Abomasnow wasn't just here for Aurora Veil. It had some other tricks up his sleeve. Mainly Trick Room into Skill Swap. Arsene brought up Empoleon and trying to abuse the competitive boost that he would get from Intimidate. Maybe fishing for something there, but thanks to Skill Swap, the Mobile could come in, Intimidate, turn Mega, and start to dish out some damage. This was preparation at its finest. Both players didn't just use raw power. It was all about who planned better. And that answer this week was Arsene, taking the 4-0 victory. Now, let's check the standings after week 3. Grandmaster Cake continues to dominate at the top of a perfect record in a huge 16 differential. Right behind him, Arsene, also undefeated, sitting at plus 11. The race between these two is shaping up to be one of the season's biggest storylines. The mid-table is stacked with 2-1 records, plenty of teams still fighting for playoff positioning. And at the bottom, multiple teams remain winless, staring at a 0-3. Every match from this point forward could be high stakes. If you're on the top half, you're fighting to stay here. If you're at the bottom, every single game is do or die. Now for something lighter. Nickname and set of the week. Nickname of the week goes to Drakeon's Ninetales Alola. Let it go, let it go. I won't sing the song anymore because of copyright. Bringing the snow, Aurora Veil, and the power of song to boost the Pokémons, letting go of their doubts, and hopefully bringing victory. It might not have worked this week, but I'm sure it will work in the future weeks to come. And for set of the week, they don't need tricks. They don't need gimmicks. They're just clean, efficient, and lethal. Iron Moth from CB Fries and Spectria from Red Sox Alex. Coming in using their most standard of standard sets and scoring 5 and 6 kills respectively. And, well, it's good to see some normal between some of those crazy sets we see sometimes. Looking ahead to week 4, and here is what we've got. Grandmaster Cake's legendary Landorus look to continue their hot streak, but they'll be facing the only other undefeated team with Arsene's Hyderabad Hunchcrows. Will Arsene pull out another strategic masterclass, or will the Dunsparce add another coach to his list? The Carolina Incineroars will be hoping to rebound after a tough week, while CB Fries and the New York Low Kicks will be riding the momentum after that Iron Moth sweep. The Fighting Lando T's with the Spectria look to repeat what they did last week, but the Oregon State Deuce sadly know how it feels to be behind a one Pokemon sweep and will do their best to prepare against anything Red Sox Alex will throw at them. Then we have Lively Town, Licky Licky, and the New York Hydreigons. One comes from a loss, one from barely a win, and they'll be looking forward to building more momentum for the second half of the season. Dunsparce United, fresh of a Diancie-led win, will meet the Scarlet Knights, who are chasing consistency, while the Nep Squad and the Oslo Okodokis already fought. But I won't tell you how they play, we'll find that out next week. And finally, but not least, we have the Boom Burst Backgammon against the Tennessee Titans. Joe Mama against Ali Kalkos. Old rivals facing against each other again. But of course, this wasn't the last one. We have match of the week. And it's not the match from the two undefeated teams. No, it's two teams still chasing their victory. We have the Ottawa Ordinaries with Lack of Interest as their coach, and ABBs, the team from Glitchy Mix. Both are 0-3. Both are desperate for a win, and both made massive changes. ABBs and Glitchy Mix made 5 changes, while might just be only one change, but we don't know it. Lack of Interest might have just assembled his monotype Exodia. Which brings us to the global trade system, the heart of this week's storylines. Joe Mama, coach of Tennessee Titan, dropped Mega Lopunny, Fortress, Screamtail, Arcanine Sui, and Sandy Shocks to pick up a electric terrain team with Tokoko, Iron Threads, Circuitry, Zubat, and Hariyama, switching out his Terra Captain from Arcanine Hisui to Circuitry. Glitchy Mix getting rid of his Sand Core with Excadrill, Hypodon, and Dracovish all out, with Magneton and Aerodactyl having the same fate. Joining is Rebombi, H-Slash, Heatran, Mamoswine, and Hydrapple. It's gonna be interesting how this new core of Pokemons will handle the team that they're facing next week. And in New York, Hydreigons getting rid of Latias Mega, Slurpuff, Infernape, Serena, and Ampharos to make space for Quaquaval, Screamtail, Grafaiai, Dottler, and Victini. And no, this is not Anon Victini. We double checked its papers and it's a different Victini. Additionally, 2 more trainers made changes. We had Green Purple Boy with his Oregon State Bidoof getting rid of Latios Mega, Darmanitan Galar, and Hawlucha, adding Sneasler, Dracovish, who was just dropped, and Kilowattrel. And of course, as I mentioned before, Lack of Interest, getting rid of Mega Pidgeot and getting Mega Lopunny. And Mega Lopunny with his team might just be the key to success for the rest of the season. And finally, our exclusive interview with Arsene, the coach of the Hyderabad Honchkrows. We sent out our Victini News Ace robot to Stall to get some information directly from the coach. You guys can stop the video and read it and then continue. But yeah, Stoll started off asking him about his performance, and Arsene, of course, he's happy to have such a good start, especially after his disappointing season run, and he hopes to carry the momentum and seal a playoff spot soon. And hey, this is the best week for it, playing against the only other undefeated guy. Additionally, when asked about which Pokemon he's currently, well, the most favorite of, he praised Empoleon as a surprise MVP because of its versatility, reliability. It's doing much more than what he expected. Before the season started, Tom and Stoll made a power ranking and ranked Arsene's team rather low. And of course, Stoll asking Arsene what his thoughts about it were, especially as they were doubting that this team could do a lot. And Arsene, when asked about preseason doubts, he acknowledged them, but added that being underestimated is a motivator, not a setback. And his closing message to the league was clear: keep having fun, bring creativity, and never give up. Wise words from a coach who knows exactly where he is going. And right now, that path leads straight through to playoffs. That concludes Week 4 of Victini news. From the Donbass's domination to Iron Morph's sweep to Ottawa versus ABBs, this league has been delivering storylines week after week. The standings are tightening, the trades are reshaping the battlefield, and the pressure has never been higher. Thank you to our artists, our helpers, and everyone who's been watching. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, with more chaos, more battles, and maybe another unlikely hero. Until then, keep battling, keep building, and keep proving why this is the most exciting division in the VDL. Thank you, everyone.